Well, welcome. Today we're going to talk about a vast department that takes care of one or two fields a year in the town. And if you believe that, we do have swampland for sale down in one part of Milford. The Parks Department. You never think about them until you look and say, is the grass cut? Is the field ready? Because if it isn't, then you really think of the Parks Department. But let's start with introductions.
Joe Arcudi, Park Commissioner.
Jim Asam, Parks and Rec Administrator.
Paul Brazen, Parks Commissioner.
How big is the Parks Department?
Three commissioners, full-time park administrator, 6 full-time employees. And in the summertime, it's about 12 to 14
Yep.
part-time employees. And then,
We have the pool for the lifeguards,
yeah,
pool manager, assistant pool manager.
So
Up over
Fino
30.
Pool is all under the Parks Department,
Yes.
correct.
not Casey.
Not Casey.
Record numbers this year too, at the pool.
Let's talk about the pool. How's it working out?
Great. We've had, a few weeks where we had 2,000 people, and a few weeks that we had 600 people. All depending on weather. But in the last 8 weeks, we got 2 more weeks to go. 8 weeks, almost 10,200 people have attended the pool.
10,000 visitors to that pool?
Yep, with 2 weeks to go. Last year we were at 10,300 at the
That
end
was
of
for
the
the whole
season.
year, well, it's
For the
only
whole
2 weeks.
season. Yep. So we're going to break that this year, which would be nice. 5,400 kids, over 5,000 adults, 3,000 of which are residents, 1,000 non-residents. So it's been flourishing. It's nice.
And again, like you said earlier, that doesn't include community use.
Right. So community use uses it, 3 or 4 times during the season, and the youth
So
center.
Jen Ward takes all the kids from the youth center down there?
And the youth center, Jen brings them from the youth center also like three times a week.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they get benefits
Well
from
worth
it
the
too.
investment.
Well,
Thank you, El Correa.
Fino Pool was always Milford.
That's right.
I mean, Casey never, I grew up at the Heights where Casey was, but never quite felt the same as going to Fino. And you've been witness to how many arguments we had over the years that some of the FinCom members legitimately said from a monetary point of view, we were better off shutting down Fino Field. Take over Casey, and that's it. But it didn't feel the same. It wasn't Milford. And I know I'm going to get people yelling at me that Casey is part of Milford. But no trees. We grew up going down there with picnic baskets. I assume all the trees are still thriving.
Yeah, I worked with the tree warden, Chucky Renault, and we do trimming each year. Any overgrowth or any deadwood, we'll get the company in there to clear that out because the trees are too big for us to maintain. So it's just as easy to get the contractor in to do it with the.
Well, the
bucket
contractor's got those massive machines.
trucks. Yeah, the
that-
bucket trucks and they get it done a lot more efficient than we would.
Well, efficiency aside, I would think safety.
Yeah, that too.
You got part-time employees you can't use. And the 5 or 6 full-time employees, I don't know if they're trained to use big machines.
And it all runs smoothly because of our pool manager, Peter Filosa, does an excellent job. He's done it for many years in town. I'm hoping I get at least 1 more year out of him.
Does he know he's not allowed to retire?
Yeah, and
can
Ronnie,
say-
Ronnie Santa Croce too is the
Yeah.
assistant pool manager. The two
Seems
of
like
them
Peter's been
work
saying
great.
1 more year since I got on
I
that.
was going to say, how
Became
many
a
years
park
has that been
commissioner.
extended?
Yeah,
But now we've changed the pool. You got the splash pad, and how's that working out compared to the old pool?
Great. The splash pad's been, we still, have reached capacity a few times, but the splash pad, the kids love it. You can go in and, run around. If the features go off, they can go press a button themselves and they turn back on. So they're not constantly running. But the kids love it. Looking back at it, we've gone through, multiple designs and everything else. If we could do it all over again, I think the one thing I might have suggested was making the splash pad bigger. Like, as I think it's getting used that much.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to be, maybe that full section that it's in. But
But
it's still,
10,000 people, that seems enormous.
yeah.
That's
We average pretty much, we're averaging about 1,200 a week.
Wow.
Yep.
And it's reasonable, I mean, it doesn't cost an arm and a leg to use it.
Nope. $3 for kids, $5 for adult resident, $7, I believe it's $7 for a non-resident.
That's not bad.
For the day, and then you can get season passes too, which all the prices are on our new website. So if you go to milfordma.gov, which is the town website, look up the Parks Department page, and there's a link there, catalog Town of Milford. If you click on that, it brings you to a Park and Rec page, which has a list of all our different parks, everything that the parks offer, what we have in the parks, but also that's how you go through to get your permits and anything else that you might need from the parks.
We'll go through all the parks, but, so Don, you go down to Pheno Field. You still have Little Lotto Field there for baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You have the annex, which you can never do anything with, right? Because it's in a floodplain.
We're still waiting for the 100-year flood.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've done a few things though. We have added a cricket league. Cricket league came in and spoke with the commissioners, and we did put a cricket pitch in the middle of the field.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're playing every weekend now for 3 months. They contribute back to the town as their fee for field maintenance. So last year they contributed some money towards reseeding, and there's actually grass in the annex now.
I was gonna say, reseeding, you seed the
Yeah,
annex?
seed it. We have irrigation down there. It's all running, but we didn't run it this year. But still, everything's green.
Yeah, we went down because my grandson is in Pop Warner or youth football. It's amazing to see all the kids and all over the annex. It's a shame that it's a 100-year floodplain that you can't develop it more. And how about Pheno Field?
Pheno Field baseball has been great. We just finished the state tournament. Was hosted the Legion State tournament at the field, which, it was great to have all the people that helped out. I can't go through and name them all, but everyone that helped out between the workers, but also all the people from the Legion. It ran so smoothly. They had everything.
They do a great job,
Yeah,
the Legion.
They really did.
That
Well, there's a
organization.
loyalty. when
There's a
you-
loyalty, exactly.
There's a loyalty to the Milford Legion baseball.
That's right.
You can feel it when you talk to the people and you see them down there. Now, that field is used for more than just baseball, though, isn't it?
No, we use it for, we have a few events that we have. Upcoming event, they have their opening day for Pop Warner football. So they have their sort of opening day there. They have jumpy houses and stuff that they put in there. Because we've added the annex, Pop Warner now uses the annex for flag football and, the main field. But because they're using the turf mostly for games. So,
Well, that
there's,
must help on
as
maintenance.
we get later into the fall, they ask for permission to use the outfield for some of their practices because it gets dark so early. So then the commissioners allow them to do that, and then,
The high school use the field too, doesn't it?
for baseball,
Baseball.
So you got Legion, you got high school baseball.
Legion, high school baseball, Babe Ruth.
yeah, sometimes
Youth
Babe Ruth
baseball,
uses
yeah.
it for some games, they'll request it. But for the most part, they use it in Town Park in Valalato.
Babe Ruth uses for the lotto.
Mhm.
I'd always think that would be too small for the Babe Ruth kids.
Years ago, it was a Little League field.
Yeah, it's big now.
But then
It's expanded out.
it has
Oh,
expanded years
well,
ago.
I mean,
to
when
what
we played on
Babe
it,
Ruth- It was Little League,
it was Little League.
correct.
That'll teach me. I haven't been down there. I've been down to the annex because of my grandson.
280, I think it's maybe 330.
Oh, wow. That's a
Yeah.
full field.
Yep.
They didn't run into the swamp?
No, there's a little buffer there of Japanese knotweed growing through all the fences.
So now, I joked in the beginning saying you have one or two fields you have to take care of. How many fields does the Parks Department actually maintain?
It's upwards, I think the last tally I took was about 35 locations.
35?
So we take care of, some of the places that aren't known. I think that we take care of are Prospect Heights, the monument side, and the court playground side. We take care of all the schools. That's maintaining the bushes, mowing, basic bed work. We don't have much to do with the facility side, but we help out as much as we can on the grounds. And then you have all your smaller parks like Calzone Park, Draper Park,
Bancroft,
Fruit Street.
Fruit Street, yeah.
You
Baja
never
Court.
think about those, but I guess if you take them in aggregate, there's a lot of work to maintain all those little parks.
And then Rosie and Glazy, Plains Park. And then we take care of the 6 miles of bike trail.
How do you take care of Plains Park? I mean, isn't that still settling?
No, it's gotten to the point, I mean, it's 22, 23 years now, right? 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually almost 25 years. 25 years now, and we've had to do some walkway work. We did half the park 3-4 years ago.
I remember the hard top you put in.
So now we're looking for the other side to get done. There's some sinking in the walkways, but overall in the field, it's not terrible. We have
No.
some water at times, but
I think maybe over the 20, we've had a back.
top dress a few years
Top
back.
dress it twice,
dropped
yeah.
it
10
twice,
years
I
ago or
think.
so,
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. So not bad.
'Cause I remember there was sections that we had to fill in.
And they said that was gonna happen over time.
What was the dump?
Correct.
You think about it, you
Yeah.
plastic over the dump, it's still gonna decay.
But we're still able to, I mean, this year we used the softball fields for a med softball league. They had games on Monday nights. They just had a tournament a few weeks back. They used all 3 fields, which
Well,
was
thank
nice.
God for Plains Park. I don't know if you took that offline totally. How would you deal with all the requests?
Then we have soccer. Soccer lives there in the fall and
Soccer,
spring.
lacrosse.
Yeah.
Being
Lacrosse, lacrosse won't use it as much. They're both basically on the turf. They don't use grass that much. If they do, it's up at the high school.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Band concerts in the pavilion on Monday night.
Yeah,
Monday
so
nights,
we have to
we go
do-
there at 6:30.
Lions.
Yeah.
The Lions
Months
Club.
Johnny Cash on Monday, right?
Yeah, it was put off because of
The
the,
24th, yep.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
the
the-
Lions are there handing out popcorn and snacks. You forget all the stuff the Lions do.
Yeah, they're looking to do some more things too. The pavilions were a big addition. They donated some picnic tables at each pavilion at
Actually,
Louisa Lake and
One of the
Plains.
pavilions in the background as we were
Yeah.
talking
Oh,
about it,
yeah.
over at Louisa Lake.
Yeah,
Well, that was always 4th of July.
right.
You have the Lions there and John Accavelli sneaking me a hot dog before my wife would see me eat it. Remember, it felt good to see your neighbors and everybody at the park. Because one year we decided, okay, let's try going into Boston for 4th of July. Wasn't the same. You know, Gattazzi wasn't there slipping me some popcorn. Accavelli wasn't there selling me a hot dog.
Hmm.
You know, it
Yeah.
just didn't feel the same. Where when we go down there now, you can walk around and see your neighbors, your friends. It feels more Milford. How's the trail doing?
Great. Wish we could track the, they're looking into different ways of tracking the
Track
amount of
the
people.
usage,
Yeah, the group is sort of reconveying to look into things that could count that. There are meters up on the crossing lights that do count, but it was a matter of retrieving the information, but the group's looking into that now to,
But what would that get you?
well, it's just gonna show how much it's used.
Yeah, just give
Because
you
you
an
don't-
idea.
The first time that I realized how much that was used was during COVID, because that's what everyone was doing. And I was actually, I had to monitor how many people were using the trail at that one point for
But
the
that-
Board of Health.
Jim, it seems like a no-brainer. I mean, you talk about the trail. I haven't heard one person say it's a waste of time or energy.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to love the trail.
Yeah.
Some for kids, some for old people like me.
All
Yeah.
ages, right? All ages.
But as the towns connect more and more, us with Holliston, I mean, that trail just
Yeah.
goes on and on
Yeah.
and on.
Well, that was the original plan that Reno put out, was that we were gonna be tied to different Holliston,
Hopkinton.
Hopkinton,
yeah.
was it Medway?
It would go into Sherburne and, I mean, all out
Yep.
that way. My wife and I mean, a couple of times have parked over at the Doubletree and rode our bikes that way, all the way into Holliston, Casey's Caboose.
How hard is it to maintain the trail?
It's just a matter of scheduling. So, I mean, the overgrowth is tough at times, so we've been coordinating with the highway.
Didn't we buy an
we-
octopus for that?
Yep, so that's where we coordinate with the highway to clear some of that, and we also have a brush cutter too that we use in different sections.
I remember the brush cutter looked like something out of Spider-Man.
Yeah, and then just the, you know, there is a lot of fencing. We've been fortunate in the last 3 or 4 years, the youth center has had a youth works where they, you take in 15, 16-year-olds to do work for you, and we actually put them on the trail painting fences.
Oh, wow.
So it's a lot easier to maintain a fence when someone puts graffiti on it to just paint over it instead of replacing the board or having to sand it down. So that was the thought process behind that, but that's the toughest point, I think, our fences, because if a tree comes down, there's fences, and 80% of the time, those fences are getting hit by the trees that are coming down.
Oh, wow.
So I gotta work with Chucky Renault on that as far as each year surveying to see what trees
What
may
trees
need
are
to
in
be-
danger.
yeah, need to be removed. And there's a lot out there, cause there's a lot of standing water in areas, so something we have to do pretty much do it twice a year, go through to check. And we get the calls from people walking that are pretty good about calling and saying, hey, we got a tree down here, and we're able to go up and clear it out before, most people get up.
Do people maintain their trash?
Trash, I'd say yes. Dog poop bags, not so much. And if there's people out there listening, we'd
Pick
like
up
you to see
your
a
poop.
little do a
Yes.
little better with that. I mean, we do supply the bags,
Oh, we do?
so we have different bag
There's
stations in
Bag
different
stations
parts.
all along.
There's, I think there's
all over the
6.
trails.
I think there's 6 now, along the 6 mile spot. So
Yeah.
we give the opportunity. There are barrels at each station.
So there is no excuse.
Right. So just clean up, and
I was gonna say, I haven't seen people leave poop, but
I've
Probably
witnessed it,
because-
yeah. I've witnessed people picking up other dogs' poop,
yeah.
which is, it is what it is. But they're using the trail, and that's what they end up doing because someone's going to step in it. And the worst part about it is they're doing it in different parts of the parks, where our guys are weed whacking, and that can be a
Oh.
real mess. you know, so,
Oh, the lawnmowers.
yeah,
We had a fellow who did our yard, and he brought up a point that when my daughter moved back home, I have an almost dog, quarter pounder, no cheese, all 10 pounds. So when the mowers go over, picks it up, gone. She brought in a 125-pound Mastiff. He brought up immediately that when he comes around the corner, if he hits those droppings, it goes everywhere. So I don't think people really understand that it's just the right thing to do to pick up after your pet.
and I work closely with Keith too, our dog officer, and he's really good about coming out if I see someone out in the park or you know, one of my guys might, instead of confronting them, I'd rather have him go down and speak to them. And, you know, he explains to them that, you know, there's signs up. You know, people don't understand why can't I have my dog out here? But it's a ball field. It's where kids are playing. And the last thing they want to do is be slipping and sliding around in that.
Well, I mean, just think of Plains Park and the goose poop.
Right. Which
You know-
we've improved a ton on. You know, we still have the dogs that chase them out.
I was going to say, do you put up signs, no gooses allowed?
No,
All
the,
gooses go to Hopkinton?
the dogs have really worked well.
What dogs?
So we hire a company, a husband and wife out of Sharon, Goose Flight, and they come out and they have two border collies. Well, they have 5 in total, but they bring 2 when they come to Milford, and they just send them out on the fields and they'll
I was
chase the
going to
geese.
say, I haven't heard as many complaints about the geese, and it's really the geese droppings.
Yeah, so we've been doing
Over
it
the
for about
years.
7 years now.
Wow.
And we went from 6 flocks of about 450 geese to 1 flock of about 60 geese. So it's a big drop. And
400 gooses?
yeah, and the
I never thought there were that many geese. It seemed like a lot,
Yeah.
but
yeah, and he sort of monitored that for me and sort of gave me updates like, oh, we got rid of this flock, but there's still 2 more. Louisa's a challenge. We do have them go to Louisa, but people feed them at Louisa, which there are signs that say don't feed them. But because they feed them, they're not afraid of the dogs because they're around people and dogs all the time with the trail. So it's a little more challenging. They go into the water, but they're not staying now, where before they were staying because no one was asking
Chasing
them
'em.
to leave. Yeah. So they don't stay now, but we've had some issues up there around the pavilion. It gets pretty messy that we have to sort of maintain cleaning the concrete on that. And
it'd be hard to look at some little kid and say, don't feed the goose.
yeah,
Don't feed the geese.
The kids aren't the problem.
yeah, it's
Old people.
No, parents.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it's the parents that are the problem. You would think they'd be more sensitive because they don't want their kids walking in goose poop.
Right, it's not healthy for them either. The bread and stuff. They think, oh, we give them bread. It's not really good for them. Which Keith had a conversation with a few people down there before me about explaining why we can't do that. You know, not only the mess, but it's not healthy for the goose.
I don't think people even consider that.
Yeah.
Now, Louisa Lake, what goes on there?
Well, we've had the pavilion put up by the Lions Club, which was a nice project, and we have weddings.
Well, do people know that the Lions Club paid for that?
Yeah.
That's good.
If they didn't, they know now. And yeah, we've had, anywhere from weddings to birthday parties. We had wedding nuptials. A woman went down there last weekend. They used the gazebo down the front, and then had a little party up at the, 25 people up at the pavilion after, which was nice.
Still have the fishing derby.
Yep, fishing derby for
Is
the
that Knights of Columbus?
Knights of Columbus does one,
Yep.
and then My FM.
My
I
FM.
wanted to say MRC, yeah, my FM.
Yeah, because good old Vinny Velastro always.
Yep, Vinny does it. Yep,
Yep.
he does a good job.
And you got your disc golf.
And then we have the disc golf right there. So,
Tell me about disc golf. I mean, we expanded the parking lot, correct?
Yeah, that was a mix between having more recreation down there, but also the trail needed that. You know, we expanded it by it's about 45 spots,
Wow.
and it's made a huge difference. And for the trail, when people are at the trail, even the disc golf, you're in and out of there. It's about a 45 minute to an hour and 20 minutes for most to go through and play 18 holes. Some might only play 9. But that's the turnover with the trail too. If someone's going for a walk and they're going from there to the highway and back or to Hopkinton and back, you're talking a 30-minute time. So the turnover is really good there. You know, it's no one really hanging there for 3-4 hours at a time. And if there is, it's not a large group of people. So you have that turnover. So the parking lot really flows good with the amount of traffic that it sees. The disc golf's been going great. We're actually sort of going to start meeting with the conservation about going a little bit further out and adding some holes. 5,400 rounds are tracked during the year through an app that you can use. And that's only tracking about 35 to 40% of the people playing.
But wait a minute, you got 18 holes.
Yep.
You want more holes?
Well, it's 9 holes with double baskets. We want 9 more. So we're going 9 more, so there'll be a true 18 there.
Oh, okay.
So for tournament play and stuff like that, if you wanted to start hosting tournaments down there, that is what they look for. We're the highest ranked 9-hole course that the company that we worked with to design it have built. The going through and looking at the different rounds and stuff, but out of all the courses in the state, 60 courses about in the state of Massachusetts, this course is ranked 14th in the state. And for a 9-hole course, that's pretty impressive.
Now, what goes into a ranking?
Well, it's by the amount of people playing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they'll look at to see. So there's an app that you can use for scoring. It's called UDisc, and that tracks the people, and says they played this X amount of rounds. It gives them their score. So that's the only way we have to track it because we don't charge. It's all free.
How many people play disc golf in Milford?
In Milford,
Well, on the course.
on the course there's 5,000 rounds played that are tracked during the year. So we're probably averaging 400 a month,
Wow.
but more than that because it's not all tracked. And you wouldn't even know it unless you know the course is there. There hasn't been any issues, any complaints. For the most part, the community, the disc golf community is just like any other sporting community. They know what they got here, and they're going to respect it.
No vandalism.
No vandalism.
No,
Yeah,
we have
right.
some trash, which we're dealing with, but trash is everywhere. So, but we haven't, being in the woods, you would think there would be more up for vandalism and stuff, but really hasn't been.
Oh, that's good news.
But at Town Park, on the other hand, in the middle of everything, we have vandalism.
Talk to me about Town Park.
Come out beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Describe Town Park. What's there?
People. There's people there now.
Every night. Every night.
Yeah.
4 pickleball courts, 2
times, yeah.
2 tennis courts, the double basketball courts. They expanded the bandstand.
Tuesday nights.
Claflin Hill.
Tuesday
Yeah.
night.
They just finished up last week.
And the baseball field, right? Multi-use field.
And
Still there.
softball, girls softball.
Girls softball.
Now, why do people come to Town Park to use the tennis courts instead of the high school tennis courts?
It might be a preference on where you live.
Where you live, sure.
It's just locality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like during the seasons and stuff, the high school courts may be being used for, competition and stuff. So that leaves them to come down. And there's been more people coming out and playing tennis. Everyone says, "Oh, pickleball's stealing the tennis crowd." No, we've had people using the tennis courts.
But is it the same crowd? I had a feeling that the demographics were different for pickleball versus tennis. I see more older people playing pickleball than,
There's a
There's a good mix.
there's a pickleball community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think, and you would think that, right? And that's, I think originally that's how pickleball started, or the idea of it for the older community. But it, you have a lot of younger kids picking it up.
Yeah,
It's a fun
community.
sport.
Yeah, community use just ran a learn to play clinic. They had 15 people, mixture of all ages. You know, so the interest is there.
I missed
are we
it.
getting any pushback on pickleball? I mean, you read the Globe and every month there's some community activists going after pickleball.
When we first came up with the idea of, laying out, right, what the design of the of Town Park, there were, when we had the open forums, there was a lot of concern, and there were a lot of
The
concerns.
noise.
The noise and people that lived around the park, right? But since the park has been opened, and, as commissioners and the administrator, one little thing goes wrong, our phone rings, right? You know. I have not heard one complaint about the noise from pickleball.
And it's it's just nice going by and seeing people in the park.
Every day.
And that's the biggest thing that I've heard from people that are going by and seeing it. Wow, there's so many people in the park. Wow, and it is. It's active now,
It's nice to see.
and we have a basketball tournament that's coming up in September. They're gonna have a team tournament there, an AAU group. So people are starting to get.
Well, that's what always amazed me, because intuitively, I would think, take a group of teenage boys, take a group of older people playing pickleball versus teenage boys playing basketball. I would think the boys make more noise and cause more problems than the pickleballers. But all you read about is the noise from pickleball.
And there haven't been any problems.
No one has complained about that noise of those few cars that go by with those big mufflers and but we had talked about it before, when the kids are in school and they're out at gym class and the kids are out at recess at Memorial and stuff, if you stand in the middle of the park, you don't really hear that pickleball. You're hearing those kids more, which it's a park. That's that sort of was the idea when
Yep.
we worked together to get this completed. It's nice to see what we envisioned it, come to life.
Well,
With all the money that was put in, sort of like the pool, right? People were concerned the price tag for the pool, but now we're breaking records every year.
there's
Driving
always going to
around it.
be the discussion when you're spending money.
Sure.
I don't play cricket, so why are you spending money on cricket? But I do play baseball, so I want you to spend money on baseball. Part of being a town is taking care of everybody.
And driving by the park on a Tuesday night, Thursday night, Saturday night, I drove by Town Park. It was 6:30, 6:45. The place was packed on a Saturday night. Tennis, basketball, pickleball, and it's nice to see. You talk about old Milford, right? And nostalgic in a way. And even the people that grew up in town reach out and say they're glad that the project went the way it did, and it's bringing people back to the parks, and it's nice to see.
Well, it's so different. When we grew up, After school, you grabbed a bat or a ball, and you rustled up kids in the neighborhood. You went to a park and you played. Now everything is organized. It's kind of nice to see kids being kids
Yep.
and just going out to town park. No referees, no umpires, just,
And be home before the street lights come.
oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
But we had Paul Vallis's mother.
Right?
She was right in the middle of the Heights. At whatever time, it was 6 o'clock or whatever time it was, she would yell for Paul to come home, and we all knew what that meant. All of us. It's
Yeah, they come on earlier now with the solar though, so we had it made.
Yeah.
They were later when we were young.
Yeah. But it is nice to see that the investment that the town put in and allowed us to do what we did is paying off.
And we're not done.
And we're not done.
we're not done.
Not done.
See you in October.
Yeah.
Not this October. Any problem with vandalism?
A little bit.
Well, a little bit
working
you
on.
almost expect.
Well, we're working on getting the cameras completed. The cameras are installed. They need to be. We need to get the servers up. We've had some issues with the exercise fitness court. The
roof.
Yeah, the roof. The kids climbing on the new roof. They haven't done any damage to it.
Oh, and the
We had that in the
storage.
Heights.
In the bathroom.
Right.
Our pavilion in the Heights, we had kids ruining the roof.
But the overall the worst of it is the exercise unit. We had that nice mural that the woman made and won the grant money for during the project. And it's not easy to do, so it took some time. But they peeled off the decal off the exercise unit. So fortunately, it is replaceable, but we aren't replacing it until our cameras are active because I don't want to go through it again. So it is replaceable. Yes, it does cost money, but unfortunately, looking at the cameras that we do have up there that the police have, we are unable to determine who and when they did it. It was a little bit at a time. But, that's the other part of see something, say something. It's okay to tell, give me a call and say, hey, we saw this being done. Because at worst case, I don't need to know who it was. I can find out that. But just to know a timeline, would help in having the police to go through the cameras to have a 2-hour window as opposed to a 2-day window. It's a lot easier for them to track, and it's just that's the only way it's going to stop.
Well, if the kids don't see any, and I assume it's kids, but if the people who are causing the vandalism don't see any repercussions,
Just gonna keep doing it.
you keep doing it. If they find out that their buddy got pinched for spray painting on a mural or something, maybe it'll make them think twice.
Yeah, I've approached kids at the park, throughout the day during the summer, and just go up and sort of say, hey, you didn't happen to see who did this, sort of like in a kiddenly way.
Yeah.
Oh no, we don't know. I'm like, well, just so you guys know, this is for you. All this here is for you. And we want to keep it nice. We want to take care of it.
And money we spend removing graffiti and all that is less we spend on events for you.
Right.
That's right.
Sensitive subject, the bathrooms. How are they working out?
Great. I mean, we started doing what we originally planned, which works through the school year. So they have them during the gym classes and stuff. Summer, not so much. We had to reduce it. But what we were doing is during our work hours, keeping them open. So people playing pickleball would have that option to use that. We did put a portage on there also for a backup when those bathrooms aren't open, which is okay, but I'd much rather leave those open. But we had a little bit of vandalism inside, just minor things, putting vapes in the toilets and things like that, but also a little more substantial, like some graffiti and stuff inside one of the bathrooms. So we decided to back it off. So we went to 3 days, and then we went to 2 days. I sort of know when the pickleball groups come, so I picked those days to have them open, and then we just monitor them a little closely, because I can't have someone up there all day. I'm able to drive through every few hours, but we can't have anyone up there. Then I just walk in, check them. But during any of the band concerts, when we have workers present, no issues. And everyone loves them. They're clean. They're brand new. I don't know if you've been down there to see them, but
No.
and then the storage in the back that we decided to add, softball, youth baseball, high school baseball, they're all taking advantage of that. And then we also have a space in there for any added stuff that we have that we need there. So it's been a great addition for all involved.
What are the biggest challenges you're facing?
With the park, just not having those cameras active to be able to monitor it. And I have no problem each morning going through for 45 minutes just scanning through, to see. I drive through every morning on my way in. I'll drive through every morning just to see, because you see it every day, so you sort of you pick up something that if it's not right. So I try to do that every morning. But if I can go in on my computer and go like this, or on my phone and go like this and see, that's all we're looking for is, if we can see something being done that shouldn't be being done,
Another sensitive subject, Tank Field. For years, I applaud you for shutting it down because of the parking. It always scared the heck out of me that cars were half on Congress Street, half on the grass. Because I kept saying, there's going to be a day when a kid goes out the wrong door, and kid against car on Congress Street is not going to be a good outcome.
No.
Does anybody use Tank Field?
I think
Not-
that people in the neighborhood.
Yeah, nothing's scheduled there.
Nothing
No.
organized.
Nothing-
No organized
Nothing
sports.
organized, so maybe people in the neighborhood or, people, listen, I'll drive by and people are out there with their dogs,
Well, I've seen people on the playground.
or on the playground and stuff, yeah.
Freshman football sometimes walks over from the field if they need a space.
And the swings are handicap accessible too up there.
Yeah.
They have all handicap accessible swings up there. That,
Is there anything we can do to add parking where, on the other side, or
I
to
mean,
use the field?
There's been some talks.
There has been some talks, but there needs to be more talk.
And as you know, everything is
Well, we're going
money
into a-
related.
We're going into a tough season right now with the state aid. I mean, when they gave us 0.6% increase in school, and that's 60-some% of our budget, kind of puts a damper on what you can do for projects.
Yep.
I'm still waiting to see what the free cash number will be, because we got the capital season coming up, and it's going to be tight this year. Any big projects in the future you see?
we're still talking about turf.
Yeah, I mean, the turf, is always a discussion. But we've talked about some of these smaller parks that we're able to put some money in through our budget, some of our budget money, like the Heights. We just did those upgrades at the Heights, that all came through our budget. But then if you look at the courts, it would be really nice to get those courts done. And I got a price for that, and that's $25,000. Well, that's not quite our budget. We can't do that through our budget, but
25,000 to do the court?
to paint
Resurface
it, resurface the basketball courts, and then
Why did I think Pearl Street was a lot more than that?
Pearl Street was, yeah.
It was. But there was a lot more to it.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
full construction. This is just painting, because the courts are in great shape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're not replacing the,
No, not
Court
not the
surface.
court surface. That's where the excavation stuff comes in. That's the cost there,
Yeah.
with the asphalt and everything else. But so we worked with MVP Group through stormwater and, just different activities that, different places that we could possibly have a park. Bancroft Park came up and Pearl Street Park came up. So we did work with this group for months, and we have 2 designs, but as everything comes with a price, and I don't know if you'd be ready for that, but it's the project. Any project now is going to be between 5 and 1.2 million, and that's just a basic park. A playground, right now, going price $450,000.
Yeah, it used to be we told the PTO, go raise the 20 grand and
Yeah,
Right?
put in a new playground.
and I just applied for a grant to the Massachusetts Office of Disability for $250,000. If we get that, it cuts the price in half.
Yeah.
So that'd be really helpful. So hopefully within the next month or so, we get word of that. Last year I went for it, I didn't get it, so I'm hoping this is the year. But no, that's all good stuff. I mean, and then once we get this open space plan, it's going to open the floodgates for grant money that it may
Well,
be no cost to the
we
town.
funded developing the plan.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yep. So that's all coming up. So once that happens, then as a department, we can really tap into that, because that's gonna, in some cases it may be more than half, 60, 70%, or fully paid, so.
I like that.
Yeah. So that's,
No.
that's looking forward. I mean, if we're gonna wanna get some of these projects done, we're gonna have to, really, push the grants.
Well, thank you for all you do.
You're welcome.
And you have, I'd say the FinCom is the most thankless position, because we never can satisfy everybody. But Parks has got to be pretty close. Because nobody calls and says, the grass looks great, we're really happy. You guys are doing a great job.
Sometimes, not everybody, but
Yeah.
sometimes we do get that.
Oh, that's good news.
I'm still waiting for those people that didn't like the park to come back and give their,
Or the trees at Draper Park.
give their thumbs up.
The trees at Draper Park?
Oh, my God, yeah. Well,
When we did Draper Park
When we
over,
We
replaced
did Draper Park.
we
over.
replaced those trees, the old
Yeah.
trees.
Oof, my phone was ringing off the hook. Look at it now. It's
gorgeous.
beautiful. But
Well, thank you for all you do.
in time, everything comes in time, right?
Yeah.
And,
Thank you for having thick skin, because you need that.
yeah. Hey, thank you and the FinCom committee too, right?
We try.
Yep. It's a team effort.
Well, it's,
That's why I
It's
think Milford's
Milford.
in such good shape.
you know,
right?
like I
Because you
said,
make sacrifices
the
and,
Pheno pool, from a economic point of view, didn't make any sense.
Mhm.
Take over Casey, cement, no trees, no history, but it wasn't Milford. Stacy School, when we redid Stacy School, financially, the best thing to do is knock it down and put up a big ugly glass building. But that was Milford granite. We scrounge and we scrape all year so that every so often you can keep a little bit of Milford history alive.
And the keys to keep it all maintained now, so.
Oh,
We
yes.
can keep up with that,
So thanks again.
sure.
And to our 6 loyal viewers, thanks for joining. May tomorrow be a better day than today. God bless, good night, and we'll see you at the town park.
Great.